And now, ladies and gentlemen, for tonight's program. Try to remember the world before April 1st, 1976. How did you keep in touch with your friends? Keep business records, make phone calls, while away your idle hours. In other words, what did you do before the invention of the personal computer? Our speaker tonight could imagine the world after 1976. He is Steve Wozniak, inventor of the personal computer and co-founder of Apple Corporation, the company that brought his innovation into our homes. A true baby boomer, Mr. Wozniak grew up in California, attended Homestead High School in Cupertino on the edge of what would become the Silicon Valley. Stephen Jobs also attended Homestead, although a couple of years later. Mr. Wozniak shared his passion for computers with Jobs and introduced him to his fellow members of the Homebrew Computer Club, with whom he had already shared his early computer models. In their early informal partnership, Jobs continually sought ways to turn Wozniak's inventions into cash for both of them. It was Mr. Wozniak who invented the hardware and operating software for what would be called the Apple I, which would lead to the founding of the Apple Company April 1st, 1976, incorporated a year later. The first Apples were bare bones. No case, no keyboard, no monitor. The Apple II, the first truly mass-produced personal computer, soon followed it. Although the only person who can claim continuous employment by Apple from its founding through today, Mr. Wozniak left Apple as a full-time employee in 1987 to start a new company around his newly invented Universal Remote, and then to pursue other passions, including teaching elementary school and middle school students. The number of companies he has started or played a role in since leaving Apple is a very long list, distinguished for his contributions to our technologically driven world. He continues to be an advocate for technology and education, lending his know-how as well as his material support. And in recent years, Mr. Wozniak has become something of a pop star with appearances on Dancing with the Stars and The Big Bang Theory. And now, thanks to the generosity of support of Dollar Bank, the Greater Pittsburgh Chamber of Commerce, Alpern Wealth Management, and News Radio 1020 KDKA, Robert Morris University takes great pleasure in presenting a true American icon. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm Pittsburgh welcome to Steve Wozniak.
Yeah, as we say, I are an engineer. Never could speak in my life. I am so glad to be here in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh has had some major important influences in my life, major parts of my life. This city reminds me of a former girlfriend. So cold. Like I went to brush my teeth and I was freezing, so I turned on the warm water. I realized I was using the warm water. In California, we have a little saying, if you don't like the weather, just wait 10 years and it might change. I had a son who went to university here in Pittsburgh, and I have a very good friend who, all my life, I told my father when I was in 6th grade that I wanted to be an engineer like he, but my second goal was to be a 5th grade teacher, like the one that had meant so much in my life and was so important to where we would go in life. And one year, our distinguished educator from Apple Computer, more than once actually, was a resident from a nearby place. What is it, Moon Township? Whatever it's called. And she won the award, and I watched her presentation of how she applied the computer to all the normal subjects in school, applied the Apple II computer. So eventually in life, when I had my own kids, I was giving a whole lot of computers to schools, because that's what you do when you have money. And I thought, that's just money. That doesn't have any meaning. You make a sacrifice, something important. My time is my most valuable asset. So I started giving my time, and I went and I'll try teaching 5th grade. And I based it all on Mim. She's here tonight. I based it all on what she had done. Use the computer in every subject in school, you know, timelines for history and spreadsheets when appropriate, and how to write properly, how many spaces after a period, what fonts to use, all that stuff. And it was a very, very big part of my life. 8 years, taught 5th grade, I taught 6th to 9th grade, taught teachers, and I just taught. My courses were 200 hours a year. It was really intense. So it was